Welcome back to another new season of Whether or Not. I'm your new host, Daniel Weaver, joined by one of our new forecasters, Brendan Pham, and we got one more new member of the team, Caitlin Bell. You will hear more from her throughout the season. But Brendan, it's been pretty warm this week. Can we expect that for this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend's looking quite warm again, but the clouds are going to come in eventually. But we'll get more of that forecast in just a bit. But again, that heat is not going to be going away anytime soon, but pattern change is coming up quite in just a few days, actually.
And it's also Labor Day weekend, too, so a lot of people got some outdoor plans or maybe traveling. Can we expect any showers or any rain this weekend?
You know what? For Labor Day, it's looking pretty decent with the next weather pattern moving in. But again, we'll have your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, looking forward to it. But for now, we'll toss it to Nature in the News.
Extreme heat can be a silent killer to many. On average, heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths, and in cities, it has become a large problem because of several contributing factors, including what we call the urban heat island effect and the lack of resources. Because of the numerous non-reflective surfaces such as pavement and asphalt and concrete, city environments heat up quicker than greener areas. Heat-related illnesses can slowly develop, so people can be caught off guard with their symptoms. Cities are investigating in several solutions to combat the effects of heat. In Fort Collins, Colorado, they've actually started to introduce more greenery into the landscape to reduce the ambient temperature. Even internationally in Ahmedabad, India, the city has started providing cooling stations during heat waves. With better data and research, cities are becoming more resilient to the effects of extreme heat, even with climate change at hand.
NASA has announced that astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams will return to Earth on board a SpaceX Dragon capsule in February. Wilmore and Williams flew aboard a Boeing Starliner capsule back in June to the International Space Station. This was the first test flight of a Starliner capsule, a project that Boeing has been working on for the past 10 years. Commissioned back in 2014, both Boeing and SpaceX were selected to create capsules to transport astronauts to the ISS. Boeing was given about $4.2 billion to design Starliner, while SpaceX was granted $2.6 billion to design Dragon. Despite receiving less money, Dragon has successfully transported 2 astronauts to the ISS and back in 2020, while Starliner has been plagued by delays, poor management, and engineering challenges. NASA has decided that Starliner is too risky to return the astronauts back to Earth next month, deciding that Dragon is a much safer option.
On August 16th, a house in Rodanthe, North Carolina fell into the ocean because of Hurricane Ernesto's significant waves. Debris from the home was scattered several miles up and down the beach. Now, beach nourishment has been on the mind of Rodanthe residents for quite a long time, but a project like that is not that feasible for Rodanthe. Rodanthe is a small town just south of the newly built Jug Handle Bridge, and this bridge was constructed due to the frequent washing out of North Carolina State Route 12. Rodanthe is one of the few towns along Pea Island that has experienced the fastest rates of beach erosion. In fact, some rates of beach erosion have reached upwards of 15 feet per year. Houses that are currently sitting at the feet of the ocean's fury used to be football fields away from the Atlantic Ocean. But climate change has become a factor in this beach erosion, but this beach erosion can also be attributed to the ever-shifting sandbars of the Outer Banks. In the end, the Outer Banks are really just an extensive sandbar that we have built upon. And if beach nourishment were to commence, it would need to occur every few years, resulting in tens of millions of dollars in cost. Several other homes remain at risk of collapsing, but the residents of Rodanthe and the National Park Service are putting in efforts to either move or demolish the homes before nature takes them away. In fact, multiple homes have already been moved inland to maintain the precious memories that those homes hold for their owners.
Hurricane Hone became the 20th named storm to pass less than 60 miles from the Big Island of Hawaii in the last 70 years. Tropical Depression 1C formed in the Central Pacific back on August 22nd, quickly strengthening into a tropical storm the same day. The name designated was Hone and not Hector, since it had formed west of the international date line. Hone quickly intensified into a Category 1 hurricane on the morning of the 24th, just as it passed 105 miles south of Hilo. While the island dodged the worst of the storm, there was still 70-mile-an-hour winds, rainfall of over 20 inches, and 10-foot waves. The rain was much needed, however, as the entire state was in some form of drought by the time Hone delivered its heavy rains to the Big Island. The much-needed rain has calmed the fears of wildfires as Lahaina continues to recover from last year's deadly fire.
Here's your central Pennsylvania forecast, and we've got a lot to talk about, especially with Labor Day coming up on Monday. But first, we got to get through the rain chances into this weekend. Notice here, we've got a stationary front that's going to be sagging a little bit further south on Friday. This is going to present us with a few showers and some chances of rain, especially during the afternoon hours. During the morning hours on Friday, maybe not the best chances for rain because the sun won't be out. But through the afternoon hours, once the sun begins to poke out just a little bit through the clouds, those rain chances will become elevated. Now notice there's this occluded front here. This is actually attached to a low pressure system way up in Canada. And that low pressure system is actually spitting out a couple other cold fronts behind it. So this weekend, again, it's not going to be completely dry. As we head into Saturday, notice the cold front begins to sag further south and east near the Great Lakes. So south of here, we're going to see rain chances, especially again, through the afternoon hours, begin to become elevated. Notice here we have the humidity that's really going to become elevated throughout much of this weekend, and hopefully by Sunday, once the front begins to move through, we see a drop. But on Saturday, though, again, we're going to see rain and potentially some thunderstorms with the sun coming out. And with the sun coming out, we get more energy, and more energy means those clouds can eventually build up and tap into that. So storm chances are going to become elevated on Saturday, so not the best day for any sort of travel plans, but again, you could still make out a quick hour or two outside if you need to. Behind the front, though, look at this. We've got clearing skies with partly cloudy conditions, and the sun will be coming out behind it. So on Sunday, once the front begins to move further south, we've got mostly sunny skies for much of the day. Notice here, just out in the Midwest, we've got high pressure becoming to be established throughout much of the region. So this will eventually move its way into our region on Monday, resulting in mostly sunny skies through next week. And we'll get more to that forecast in just a bit. But notice here, south of the cold front, though, you'll have still some rain chances potentially into Virginia and into Kentucky and Tennessee. So the cold front, maybe not the best place if you're going to go southward in terms of traveling for Labor Day. But if you're traveling anywhere in the Northeast, you will be in pretty good shape. So through this Friday, again, a little bit cooler on the cooler side for what we've seen through this past week. But we will still see some rain chances on Friday. Those showers will abate through Friday night with cooler temperatures. Clouds will linger, but again, 60s through Friday night. On Saturday, though, those temps will begin to increase once again with the sun coming out. That results in some thunderstorms potentially start to pop throughout much of the region. Now on Saturday night, those thunderstorms will move out of the region and eventually dissipate because we lose the sun. And because of that, look at our low temperatures into the mid 60s now with lingering showers. Again, not a total washout all day or even through the nighttime hours, but it will be plenty like clearing out through Saturday night. On Sunday, though, that's when we have the good weather and our temperatures are into the low 80s with clearing skies. So again, it's going to be near seasonable levels, a little bit above average, but the sun's really going to make a difference and the humidity is going to drop. Now let's send it over to Austin Long that has a feature for you for welcoming new members.
We are back with another season of Whether or Not. We're here at Penn State, and it's time to get the show kicking off. Maddie, Ben, and Gavin have unfortunately left us as their time has come to an end here on the show, but Matt and I are back, along with 3 new incoming people to work alongside us. Caitlin, Daniel, and Brendan are going to introduce themselves and why they love weather right now.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Bell, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently a 4th-year student here at Penn State. What I like best about the weather is severe weather and also looking at weather maps. With the severe weather, I actually went on a storm chase trip this past spring, and we studied lightning, supercells, and hail, and I am excited to further my forecasting skills.
Hi, my name is Daniel Weber, and I am a 3rd-year meteorology student, and I am from a small town of North Wales, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from the city of Philadelphia. It's actually one of the Philly suburbs, and I like weather. I actually got into weather during Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy impacted my region back in 2012, and me and my friend, we pretended being a TV weatherman, TV meteorologist, forecasting the weather, and it just really got me interested into doing the weather and perhaps being on TV one day.
Hi, I'm Brendan Pham, and I'm from Northern Virginia, specifically Vienna, Virginia. And currently, I'm a junior third year, and I really like the weather because I love the snow and I really got invested in it when several nor'easters ran through the town and produced up to 3 feet of snow in some parts. So I love forecasting the snow, and I love forecasting other things too. So that's why I'm really interested into weather.
Caitlin, Brendan, and Daniel are also a part of Campus Weather Service here at Penn State. It's the oldest and largest student weather organization in the country. It's where we have all furthered our forecasting and broadcast knowledge. Along with Campus Weather Service, I've attended multiple classes with these students, and they are very knowledgeable and welcomed additions to the Whether or Not team.
Hope that gives a little insight on who Caitlin, Daniel, and Brendan are and their love for weather. Matt and I are super excited to be working with these people as we begin our new Whether or Not journey here in the fall semester. We hope you'll stick around and watch as they grow and Matt and I continue to grow as well. For Whether or Not, I'm Austin Long.
Your extended forecast is here, but of course, we gotta get through the rain chances that are present through this weekend. So let's recap it for you starting here on Friday. First off, we got the possibility of some afternoon showers, not thunderstorms, but showers, because we're gonna have clouds throughout much of the day. So that's gonna limit the potential for any sort of thunderstorms to develop. But look at our temperatures. It's also gonna keep a lid around 75 degrees or so, but Saturday is gonna be your game changer. We're gonna have the risk of some afternoon thunderstorms. That's because both the humidity, the heat, and the sun are all going to come out, allowing for the energy to build throughout much of the day for the possibility of some afternoon thunderstorms on Saturday. So not going to be the best day for any sort of travel for Labor Day, but Sunday is looking much, much better. Even though the cold front's going to move through, we're going to see clearing conditions, both lowering humidity and sunnier skies. So Sunday is going to be the day for any sort of outdoor activities or days to travel anywhere throughout, especially through the Northeast. And look at next week. We're going to see mostly sunny conditions, and look at our temperatures quite cooler throughout much of the week. Although we might edge a little bit closer to average, we're still going to be feeling fantastic throughout much of the week with lower humidity and much lower temperatures than what we've seen through this week.
And speaking of Labor Day, for a weather whiz quiz question, we want to see if you know what the average high temperature is for Labor Day in State College. So is it A, 70 degrees, B, 75 degrees, C, 78, or D, 80? And if you guessed 78, you would be correct. So Brendan, with Labor Day coming up, do you have any plans for Labor Day?
Well, I mean, I actually might have plans to go to the beach, which is actually pretty far from here, but surf forecast doesn't actually look too bad. And actually, I'm a surfer myself, or bodyboarder myself, which is essentially a laying down form of surfing, but it's pretty fun, I'd say. But you know, the beach is actually a really nice day, especially with the lower humidity and sunnier skies.
Yeah, speaking of the surf, though, too bad you weren't out in Hawaii, though, where they had all those big waves from the hurricane. You know, I don't think we'll have big waves out east. You know, it's going to be beautiful, which, you know, would be great for being on the beach, but maybe not for going out in the ocean.
Yeah.
And you got great travel weather on Sunday. Labor Day itself looks beautiful. And then when you come back, probably Monday, because we got class on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Can't forget about that. You know, got great weather for that. Well, that does it for this edition of Whether or Not. Don't forget to join us back here next week for our next episode.